I don't see me carrying a child with that name. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Nessa Destra, and welcome to my channel. For those of you guys who are new, if you guys have watched one of my previous videos, I mentioned that I'm not going to be sharing my little girl's name just yet. I'm choosing to share her name when she actually arrives, but as of now, this name is kept between my close friends and my family. So if you guys know her name, guys, please do me a favor, don't put her name on the comments down below. Today I decided to film a little cute video sharing with you guys names that I love, well, baby girl names that I love and like, but I won't be using. There's so many different reasons as to why we don't want to use these specific names, but we like them, some we actually really love, but we just are not going to be using them. So if you do enjoy this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, as well as leaving a comment down below. I'd like to hear some of the names that you guys personally like. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love for you guys to be a part of my humble family. Yes, I still have a humble number. That's okay. I'm growing day by day, and that's all that matters. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Before we start, I just want to put out a disclaimer because I know some people are a little bit more sensitive than others. So, just because I don't like a name, it doesn't mean that it's an ugly name. It's just I don't personally see that name for me, like for me to be using. So if you guys are named after some of these names I'm about to mention, don't feel offended that I'm not using them. Or don't feel offended that, just for anything, okay? The first name I'm about to say is a name I really love. And I feel like I would still use that name, but it's not the name that I'm gonna be using for this specific child. Or even the next, but it's just, like my mind may change in the next few years. But for now, we're not using this name. It's Charlie. I just love that name for a little girl, but I know too many Charlies, and they're all men. Well, I know a few men who are named Charles, and I call them Charlie, and I feel like it would be weird if I mean, not that it would be weird, but every time I'm looking at my little girl, I feel like I might think of these people. And they sound so cute in all three languages. Some of you guys may or may not know, but I am Haitian, so I have a Francophone background, a Haitian background, and an English background, obviously. But I personally want to name my child something that everybody can pronounce. So my name, for example, my name is Vanessa. Vanessa. You know what I mean? So you can't, like, no one can actually butcher my name. But yeah, Charlie is a nice name. I think it's really cute, but I just won't be using it, at least not for this baby. This next name is close to the first one, and I feel like now that I'm reading it, I don't like it as much. Every time I hear this name, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's such a cute name. But it's Charlotte, like Charlotte. But I see this not like that name, so we're not going to go with that one. I don't think we'll ever go with that one, but I think it's such a cute name. Another name is Eden. I love that name, but I feel like if you're Christian and you've had a child between the years of 2017 and now, you've named your child Eden. And I'm not saying that it's an overrated name, but I feel like it's being used so much that it's taken away its uniqueness a little bit. Like, it's still a unique name, but I feel like it's not as like, oh wow, your name is Eden? Like, you know what I mean? Who knows? I still really love that name, and I'd probably use that for a middle name, but I don't know. A lot of these names, I'm probably saying that I won't be using them now, but you never know in the future. I may change my mind, so don't take my word for what it is completely. One name I love but will not be using is Olivia. I think Olivia is such a cute name for a little girl. I think it's so beautiful. But we won't be using this name. Eloise. I love this name, guys. I love this name so much, and I love it in French. Eloise. Like, I love this name. I think it's so pretty. I just love the way it's written. I think it's such a vintage name. I feel like if we were to have another daughter and we named her Eloise, I feel like it would match with the name that we have now. Just be. This may seem like a hint, but it's not even a hint. But I just feel like in my mind that it would match somehow. But Isaac doesn't like it, so we're not using that name. This name me and Isaac both like. I love that name for both genders, but personally I would actually prefer it for a guy than I would for a girl. And it's Zion. I love Zion. I think Zion is such a it's such a cool name. It's such a beautiful, powerful name. And who knows, we may use it in the future, but for now we're not using it. So another name that I think is cute, but I think Isaac likes it more, is Ruth. It's a really cute name, but I don't see myself calling my child Ruth. And another name close to that is Ruth that Isaac really loves. I don't love that name. I don't see us using that name, Ruth. Guys, biblical names are some of my favorite names. One thing I really want is for my child to hold a name with meaning. Like, I absolutely love biblical names, but that name specifically, I don't see me carrying a child with that name. The next name, I was surprised, like I learned this today. Isaac said that he likes the name Julie. Julie is my little sister's name, the one born after me. But I feel like it's too close. I feel like it's like way too close. And I don't like the idea of, you know, having a child the same name as someone else that I'm close with. It's too close. There's gonna be too much confusion, and I want to stay away from that, but I think it's a very cute name. I really love the name Julie, and I didn't know Isaac liked that, but apparently he does, and I think that's so cute, but we will not be using this name, so yeah. The next one I love, I don't know if you guys know this actress, but her name is Jude I don't know how to say, Demorest, like Jude Demorest, Jude, from the show on Netflix. It's called Star. Ever since I knew of her, I always loved that name. Like, I think it's such a cool name for a girl. Like, my name is Jude. Wow. I think it's nice for both a girl and a guy, but I love it on a girl. I will not be using it because this name has already been used. I have a friend who named her son Jude, and I feel like I'd be stealing that name, and I don't want to steal anybody's name. This name I love, but I know 3 YouTubers who've named their little girl this name, and I think it's so cute, but I think it's just overdone at this point. If it wasn't, I probably would use that name, like maybe as a middle name. But anyways, the name is Zoe. It's such a cute name. I love it so much. I think that name is so cute. But yeah, I know too many people naming their children that name, and I feel like I would just be following a trend, if you know what I mean. This name I really love. I think it's such a pretty Parisian name too. I don't think Isaac will ever like that name, but it's Giselle. I think it's so cute. I might, you know, who said I won't use it in the next few years? But for this specific baby, we're not using it because I love the name that we have already. But I think Giselle is such a cute name, and it sounds nice both English and French. And you know, my Haitian people can pronounce it. Giselle is Giselle, Giselle. This next name I've loved ever since Victorious. It's actually one of my favorite shows on Nickelodeon, and the main character's name is Tori. And I think that name is such a cool girl's name. Like, I feel like if your name is Jude, Tori, Jordan, Zion, I feel like you're automatically cool to me. But I don't see myself naming my child Tori. But yeah. Alex. I think that this name is so cute, but I just know too many Alexes in my life. I know 5 Alexes in my life, but I love that name for a girl. I think it's so cute. That's another example of a cool girl name. But I just can't see myself using that for my child, but I've always loved that name. This next one is Mia. It's very simple. It's a 3-letter name, and I love simply written names. But who knows, I may use it as a middle name for my next child, but for this one, I'm not gonna use it. The next one is Corinne, and I think I liked it ever since I discovered it from this artist. Her name is Corinne Bailey Rae. I think, well, first of all, her name itself is just beautiful, Corinne Bailey Rae, and it sounds beautiful in both French and English, Corinne. But I feel like it's too close to my friend's name, Karine. Although it's spelled completely different, but I think it's too close. And lastly, I've always loved this name, but I think there's enough Valeries in the world. I know way too many Valeries, and I think I love it so much because it starts with a V. I feel like it's not too girly, but it's very feminine. Like, whenever I think of Valerie, I think of a pretty girl. It's just sad that I know too many Valeries. So these are some of the names that me and Isaac both love or like. but unfortunately we won't be using it. And some of them we actually may use in the future. We never know. Our minds may change. But I just want to recap and let you guys know there's 5 main things that I look in a name. First, it has to be a name that everybody can pronounce. So all my French people, all my Haitian people, all my English people. Second, it has to be a name that has meaning to it. Third, it has to be a name that sounds good for a little girl and sounds good for a grown woman. Fourth, it has to be a name that isn't too popular. I feel like it takes away the uniqueness when you know so many people who have that name. And fifth, it has to be a name that both me and Isaac agree with. So all these names, both me and Isaac did consider, but they just didn't make the cut, at least not for this one. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did get this far, make sure you give this video a thumbs up because it does really help my channel. And also don't forget to leave a comment and let me know some of the names that you guys liked out of my list or names that you guys personally like for yourselves. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Come on, all you gotta do is click the red button. If you haven't done so yet, what are you waiting for? Anyways, I love you guys and I'll see you guys in my next video. By the way, you like my beads?